Hey y'all, it is Thursday of Holy Week. We're continuing with our Holy Week devotion videos. If you haven't seen the videos from earlier in the week, you can go check those out on Instagram TV or on YouTube. Hope that you take advantage of that. But today is Thursday. It's Maundy Thursday, as it's known. We're going to be looking at the Last Supper, at the Passover meal that Jesus shares with his disciples. And so they're going around doing stuff, and he tells a few of them like they've got to go prepare the meal. And we pick up here in Luke 22, starting in verse 13. They left and found things just as Jesus had told them, and they prepared the Passover. And when the hour came, Jesus and his apostles reclined at the table, and he said to them, I've eagerly desired to eat this Passover with you before I suffer. For I tell you, I will not eat it again until it finds fulfillment in the kingdom of God. And after taking the cup, he gave thanks and said, Take this and divide it among you. For I tell you, I will not drink again from the fruit of the vine until the kingdom of God comes. And he took the bread, gave thanks and broke it, and gave it to them, saying, This is my body given for you. Do this in remembrance of me. In the same way, after the supper, he took the cup, saying, This cup is the new covenant in my blood, which is poured out for you. And so maybe you're familiar with the story. Maybe it's something that's kind of new to you. But this is this Passover meal. This passage we see where and his disciples are setting up this Passover meal, which is a long time Jewish tradition of remembrance and storytelling about when they were slaves in Egypt and how God brought them through that and delivered them from captivity and brought them through the wilderness and was guiding them to the promised land. But this meal of celebration of remembrance like that was done in family gatherings and homes where they would story tell and they would eat these certain foods in this specific way so that they could to help them physically remember. And when you're in that place of remembering, it's a place of sharing, where we're able to put ourselves in a place where maybe we have not been, or a place that was before us. And so this celebration that was done at this table was a very intimate thing. I mean, think about even your family table, like for a special meal. Maybe not just a normal evening meal, although it could be, but maybe even like Christmas or Thanksgiving or special holidays where you get maybe even a few more people in your family together and you sit around the table and there's conversations and laughter, and there's this intimacy and this connection between those at the table. And it's in that setting that this celebration, this remembrance of Passover takes place. And so Jesus says, I've eagerly desired to share this meal with you, to come and celebrate and remember God's deliverance with you. And so they come together, and then in the midst of all of this, in the midst of them remembering and celebrating and going through saying these certain things and eating these certain foods in a particular way and praying these special prayers together, in the middle of that, then he says that this bread, he gives it to, he said, this is my body. And then with the cup, he says, this is the cup of the new covenant, the new promise, the continuation of God's promise to redeem. And then he puts himself as God's son into that story of God's deliverance. But what's so cool is that he puts himself into that story, but he brings us to participate in that meal. He's bringing his disciples into it to share in that meal. And so today, on Maundy Thursday, it's typical to have a special service, a Maundy Thursday service, or share Holy Communion as Jesus, instituted. There we go. Holy Communion, the Eucharist that we still share. And we can't do that this year. Again, one of the many things that looks so different and odd. But hopefully your family received. If not, it's on a website. It's on Facebook and stuff. But there's something called a love feast. And that's your challenge for today. Is take the time, maybe tonight at dinner, get that love feast guide. It's on the church website. It's on our Facebook. Hopefully you get one in the mail also to your house. But it's just a simple little guide to help walk you through a love feast. to remember God and to kind of have a moment of worship as you as a family share in some bread and some kind of drink of some kind. It could be any kind of bread. It doesn't have to be pita bread and grape juice like we're used to at church. Um, but that's your challenge for today is to do that love feast with your family tonight. And as you go through that, it's also a remembrance of God's love, but also now after the fact, we bring Jesus into it very actively in how we participate, that it is Jesus that we are bringing into us in that way. And so that's your challenge for today, is to participate in that love feast with your family as we get ready to celebrate Easter, and we're following Jesus through this journey to the cross to bring us salvation. Tomorrow, which is Good Friday, we'll have our Good Friday live stream service on Facebook for the church. So maybe your family could be a part of that as well. And remember, Easter morning we have our live stream worship services and also a radio sunrise service. Just some different opportunities for you to worship this Easter. Well, I love you guys, and I'll see y'all soon.